안녕하세요, 드립니다. 리얼맘 리얼톡 이번에 6번째 방송 청취 블로그 남겨봅니다. 육아에 관심이 있고 영어 공부에 관심이 있다면 리얼맘 리얼톡 GFN 일요일 아침 9시부터 10시 꼭 한번 청취하면 좋을 것 같고요. 그리고 페리 또 엄빠독 독서모임 엄마아빠의 독한 육아 공부 독서모임을 기획 중에 있습니다. 매주 월요일 밤 9시 반부터 11시까지 예정이고요. 관련되는 책을 지금 하나 좀 읽고 있어요. 그래서 추후에 공지 드릴 테니까 우리 육아에 관심이 있는 엄마들, 특히나 아빠들, 우리도 육아를 잘하고 싶거든요. 육아 공부가 필요한 우리 아빠들이 꼭 함께 나누고 또 배우는 그 속에서 우리 아이에게 온전히 육아에 대한 혜택이 갈 수 있게끔 그런 토크하는 자리를 만들어 보고자 합니다. 감사합니다.
Show her son, I think it's her older son, he mentioned something like this: when you want to be fussy, you need to make a fuss. If you want to cry, you have to cry. And he even made a Christmas ad with this statement. And I think his mom, obviously, she encouraged him to be true to his feelings. But I mean, how many times have you told your kids to stop crying?
Yesterday.
I've said this so many times. Like, why are you crying? Stop crying. Why are you being fussy? Stop fussing. I do this all the time.
I did that yesterday.
Yeah. But I think it's really important because it's important for us to acknowledge our feelings and just like he said, be true to our feelings, because we're like always told to suppress it and shut down our feelings, but it's important because I think even later when we grow up, I still don't feel like I know my feelings very well.
Right. Yeah, we keep understanding our feelings even though we're older in age. So what happened yesterday, I'll let you know. So my son is a bit of a crybaby. He cries a lot. He has a lot of tears, and you have to stop him at some point because he cries nearly once a day maybe. So yesterday we were at a department store and we were about to leave. So we had to head to the parking because it's already getting late and they have to go to bed. But he kept crying that there's this one store that he had to visit. And we were running out of time, and it was at the end of the corridor probably. So he kept crying at the parking door. But then I told him, just stop there. You cried a lot already. We're going to that store. We're going to see what's in there. You're not going to get any toy. And then when you're satisfied by looking at everything, then we go back to the parking quietly with no crying.
Well, I think it's good to set those limits, though.
Yeah, and so he just quit crying.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
He went there, he saw the toys, and I don't know, it was just, a little kiddie zone. And then I said, are you done? When you're done, you can come up here to mom and dad. And he did that. And I felt proud of myself.
Good job. Yeah. So there's that fine line between, I guess, for moms, because you know your kids, letting them go through it, because you did that because you felt like he's done enough of crying. Yeah. So he knows that. I think he knew that he did enough.
He knew the limit.
And also, I think it's because you knew why he was crying. Because sometimes we don't know, sometimes they don't know why they're crying.
Because it could have been a different reason, too. Like, sometimes they just cry because they're tired.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Or hungry.
It's the end of the day.
Yeah. So Shinu, I think he's a very precocious child. He also became famous for saying, my mind is opening up right now. Ooh. Before it was so cold, my heart was tied up in ropes, but eating this, he was eating fish cake. So he's like, eating this fish cake warmed me up, and the ropes are beginning to untangle slowly.
We got a poet.
He knows how to use his words. Yes. So a lot of moms want their children to describe how they feel. So I think the first step definitely is letting them express it and let it out, and not stop them
or laughing at it,
having their feelings and not laughing at it, but let them do it, and then let them talk it out maybe and express it in words. And it's not easy with Ultra, and I think with my older one I've tried. I've tried to get him to, talk about his day, talk about, what his feelings are. Sometimes it works, sometimes it
Well,
doesn't.
but not all kids are verbal.
Yeah.
I think it's important that kids should know how to express their feelings, but not everyone's verbal. Some
Yeah.
kids like to just sort of express it in themselves,
Yeah.
or some kids draw,
Yeah.
some kids make things. But I don't think you should force everyone to be.
Alone tonight. It's pretty clear that I'm not over you.
Watch carefully and see. So wait and see is more like passive and we're relaxed.
Right.
Wait instead of waiting, but watch carefully and see is a little bit different. It's more active way,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So you're carefully looking at the child, and assessment by clinical, speech pathologist can sort this out.
Right.
Watch and see approach can be applied for a child when a teacher or early educator or like a ESL teachers, if you ask them, they would know for sure. They would know, oh, this child somewhat a little bit, slower than other kids, or no other red flags evident. However, if there are any risk factors such as like fluency or hearing or motor skills or many other voice disorder, any other non-language specific skills are limited, then you initiate assessment. Last but not the least, family concern. Again, with a language communication development. So then you have to initiate the assessment. So to sum it up, I highly recommend she should go ahead and initiate the assessment.
Yeah.
Yes. It won't hurt the situation. I think. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, it doesn't hurt to
No.
seek help.
Assessment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think parents are just concerned. Not only in this case. I mean, I meet many other family members. They had to wait for so long to initiate the assessment. But I always say, getting an assessment is not a big issue, and then if the child is fine, then okay, then
That's
go,
fine, yeah.
and go ahead. So yeah, I highly recommend that she should initiate the
And sometimes I
assessment.
feel like, the earlier, the better, right?
Definitely,
Then you can get,
definitely.
if there is a problem, then you can get treatment for
course.
it better. And-
Right, and it's easier,
Yeah.
and it takes shorter actually.
Yeah.
For professionals, yes.
Okay.
If you come early.
All right. So for our listener, don't take the wait and see.
Yeah, no.
Go
Watch
get an
carefully.
assessment.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much, Professor,
thank
for joining
you.
us, and we'll see you next week. Well, with that in mind, we'll wrap up today's Real Mom, Real Talk. This has been your host, Karen Choi, and we'll be back at the same time next week to further boost your strength and recharge your energy. So join us again next Sunday at 9 a.m. on Real Mom, Real Talk.